Traveling through the rural countryside of Kansas yesterday on a 2-lane road reminded me a little bit of traveling through Ukraine. Kind of a rolling countryside. And then today in Iowa, I see more and more of the flat areas and farm fields that I've come to associate with eastern Ukraine. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Ukraine today, and we all know what's happening this weekend. Tomorrow, the president is supposed to meet with President Putin of Russia in Alaska, of all places, and talk about Ukraine. And one of the things that they've been talking about was the idea of land swaps, which sounds kind of ridiculous when you think of the fact that Russia is the aggressor here and Ukraine is the victim, and Ukraine has been defending itself against Russian aggression. One of the things that used to be a byword of the Republican Party in the United States was peace through strength. The idea that we can protect ourselves against and protect the Western world against invasion and aggression because we have the strength to resist and the strength to punish someone who would do such a thing. Right now, Putin is asking Trump to allow him to keep all of the Donetsk, which is an area, a heavily industrialized area with a lot of rare minerals and other valuable assets. But also from a military perspective, it is something that would fundamentally weaken Ukrainian defenses. The Institute of the Study of War and several other organizations, and I'll put the link in the comments, basically says the surrender of the rest of the Donetsk Oblast as the prerequisite of a ceasefire with no commitment to a final peace settlement ending the war would force Ukraine to abandon its fortress belt, the main fortified defensive line in Donetsk Oblast since 2014, with no guarantee that fighting will not resume. Putin's reported proposal demands that Ukraine concede this critical defensive position, which Russian forces currently have no means of rapidly enveloping or penetrating, apparently in exchange for nothing. This is the opposite of peace through strength, and is something that Ukraine must not accept and cannot accept, no matter how much Trump wants a peace prize. That's the important message here. If they give way, Russia will not stop. Putin's never honored a single agreement he's ever signed. So how would we think that he would honor an agreement for a ceasefire or any kind of peace in Ukraine? Thanks very much for listening.